Hey guys, I'm back. It's Mike Robert here. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe. My channel is going to give you guys a lot of tips, tricks, and strategies to growing your social media marketing agency. And if you're a business owner, it's also going to be giving you guys tips and tricks to getting more customers and leads for your business. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to generate leads with Facebook ads. If you've been following me for a while now, you may have known that we generate leads for our clients and we're very successful at doing it. So we're going to be giving you guys a little bit behind the scenes and how we get to that point. How do we get so many leads to come in? And so let's get into the topic of the video. So right now I'm using a brand new ad account to demonstrate how we're able to generate leads for our clients, right? And if you're very new to Facebook ads, before you get started, you just want to go ahead and set up a Facebook account if you don't have one. And then from there, you want to set up a Facebook Business Manager account, and it will walk you through the steps to creating an ad. In addition to that, if you're going to be using lead form ads or even call ads, and then there's other ads that Facebook is coming out with, you're going to also need a Facebook business page. So if you don't have one, you can go and create one. Now, here's something that I found. If your Facebook business page is not current, is not up to date, if there's not content on there, then you can affect the results of the leads you get, because when people see your ad, they will want to go to your page and kind of see what your business is about and, you know, what are other things that your business talks about. So just keep that in mind. In some cases, what we'll tell a client, if a client comes in new and their page has been dormant for over a year, we'll say, listen, it's best if we create a new page, and then from there we can introduce you again to basically your community and the public, and it works very well. So that's just something that you guys want to keep in mind. If you're not very active on Facebook, don't say, hey, I don't know what to post. Don't overthink it. You can just basically create a new page if needed, and then from there you can resurface, you know, some content that you had in the past and just post some things as if it were new. Okay, so let's get into how we get to this point. So when you come into your manager account, if it's brand new like this one is, it'll look very similar to this. We're going to go create our first ad, and we'll come up here to this box where it says create, right? So Facebook is now going to give us the option to choose what type of campaign objective do we want. Because we're looking to get leads, we'll come right down here to get leads off of Facebook. Now, you can also run a traffic campaign to generate leads. However, with the Facebook algorithm, what we found is that the costs go up so high, and it doesn't necessarily equate to a better quality lead, right? So when I mean high, it could be subjective to your business, but ideally with our clients, where it's very successful, we're getting leads for anywhere from $3 to $5. So, you know, if you're getting leads around 12 bucks or 15 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks and such, if it doesn't matter to you, then yes, you can use a traffic campaign. However, you want to make sure that the landing page you're sending your audience to is optimized for conversions. With the Facebook lead forms, all you have to do is enter the details that you want from the lead, and then most of it will be automatically populated unless you ask a question to qualify them. All right, so we'll come in here and select leads. And then again, the options that Facebook will give us is instant forms, messenger, conversion, and calls. Now we're going to go for instant forms because, especially if you're a very busy business person, you're on the go, you don't have someone to go back and forth with automated messaging. Instant forms are great because once someone fills out the details, you can give them a ring or send them a text message or an email to get to find out, you know, what they're looking for, how you can help them and such. Okay, and there's something that we add with our clients as well. Not to pivot too much, but just so you guys know, automation can help out a lot with some of the leads that you're getting from Facebook. So in here, we're going to have a new campaign name. All right, so we'll just call this test campaign, right? And depending on the business that you have, you may have to declare a category for this. So for instance, if you're in a credit-related business, if your ad is going to be something for employment, housing, or social issues, you have to check off this box. Otherwise, your ad may not get approved, okay? So some of the industries that we're in, like automotive, credit repair, debt consolidation, and industries like that, we use this box here for credit. And then if you're in a similar industry, you can choose that. And if you are unsure, when you set up your ad, Facebook will say, hey, this ad is in a special category, please select it. Okay. So we have, for now, we're not going to make an ad like that. So we're not going to check it off, but just to get everything set up. And then we'll come in here. Now, Facebook has a cool feature here for Advantage Campaign Budget. If you're going to create multiple, I don't want to put this, ad sets inside of one campaign, you may want to select this option, because by choosing this option, basically Facebook will distribute your budget across the ad sets so that, did I lose you guys? Hang on. And then what Facebook gives us the option here for Advantage Campaign Budget. Essentially, if you have multiple ad sets, and an ad set is basically the theme of, or the audience theme that you're using to target, right? Or it could be different based on not just targeting, but if you're going to change something, whether the ad copy or the image or a call to action, or even if you're going to test a different lead form to see which converts well. What this is going to do is going to distribute your budget evenly across the ad sets. Now, you can use this in the very beginning, especially if you're brand new and you're not very experienced, because when you create an ad, you don't know how well it's going to perform, right? And even as marketers, sometimes we say, hey, great, this is an amazing ad. It's an amazing copy. The images look perfect. People are going to convert on this for sure. And then we make, another ad. We're like, who knows if this is going to work? And the one we say to outperforms the one we thought people should convert on, right? So you don't necessarily know what people are going to convert on. So for this, we're not going to check it off because we're only going to be making one ad set. But if you're going to be testing and you're not sure of your audience, you're not sure of the data, then you want to check this off so that you can get that data so you can optimize your campaign for more results, okay? So we'll go to the next box. And this is the campaign view. Now, when we go to our next screen, Facebook is now allowing us to go into the ad set level. So this is the ad set level here. And as we discussed earlier, we're going to use instant forms. And instant forms, if you're not familiar with that term, basically when someone is on their phone or their computer or even their tablet, when they look at your ad and might say learn more, when they click that button, an instant form is going to pop up. And the majority of the form will be auto-populated because Facebook is able to use the user's name on Facebook and their details, such as their phone number that they have on Facebook, their email address, their physical address, and the details that they put in when they signed up for Facebook. They're able to use that to collect the user's contact details. Other aspects where you can add, and we'll show you later, is when it comes to the person's questions that you may have to qualify them a little better and to make sure that they are genuinely looking for your service, right? So max number of leads, performance goal. That's awesome. That's a new feature. I haven't seen that before. Wow. So this is pretty cool. So Facebook is basically giving you two options for your performance goal. Number one is number of leads that you can get. And number two, who they believe is most likely convert after sharing their contact information. Now, again, if you're brand new to Facebook ads, you may be wondering why would someone submit their contact details and then maybe you can't reach them. Maybe they're not interested. Maybe they did it by accident, etc. And the reason for this is when someone signs up for Facebook, the details that they may have when they originally signed up for Facebook may not be what their current details are, right? So for instance, if someone is in high school, right, they signed up basically, I guess, 10 or 15, 20 years ago now, and now they're, in their 30s or 40s or 50s, and they're still on Facebook, they may not have that same phone number, right? Maybe they never changed it. Their email could have changed, right? Maybe they just used something when they were younger, and now they're using their main email has changed. It's no longer the same. Their physical address, maybe they moved, right? They probably moved, and then now they're at a different home address. The name that they signed up with Facebook on may not be their exact name, right? It could be an alias that they use. So those are some things to consider when running Facebook ads, and just to know, because it will really help you understand. But in this example, right, as what one or two things you can test, and this could be like we just discussed, because this is new. I haven't seen performance goal, so this is pretty cool. I'm going to test this myself. But basically, I would create two ad sets, and in one of them, I would have maximized number of leads, and then the other one, maximize number of conversion leads, and I would just create two different lead forms, which I'll show you how we make them. And then from the two different lead forms that we have, I'm going to test which, number one, how many leads did we get from both? And then B, what number of leads come in from both of them, right? So that's pretty cool to know. So for now, we'll go with maximize number of leads. And then, so for now, we'll go with maximize number of leads. So for now, we're going to go with maximize number of leads, and then cost per result goal. So I'm going to leave this blank because there is no data in this campaign. It's a new campaign. I don't know what that's going to be just yet. However, if we start getting leads and we start getting data, we're going to set up and optimize this campaign. And let's just say leads are coming in roughly about $3 to $5. Okay, then I might set this at $5 max so that Facebook can work towards that goal, hoping that we would get leads under $5. And then I would play with it, right? If it starts to phase out, then we have to make some adjustments. But that's basically what I would do in that example. Dynamic creatives are really good because Facebook is going to basically optimize your ads and show different images and headlines, as it says here, to your audience. However, in my experience, in addition to dynamic creatives, I like to know what my audience is seeing as much as I possibly can. I like to play with that creative to my accord rather than allowing Facebook to do it, even though Facebook has a lot of data, because in my experience, I've found that to work the best way for me, and then getting leads very affordable for our clients. Okay. Daily budget, 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks a day is good, depending on what you can handle. You don't want to really go less than $20 a day because it doesn't give Facebook enough data to find your audience and optimize. And basically, let's say you want to spend 10 bucks a day. And because that's your budget, it could cost you $100 or $200 before the campaign starts dialing in. Whereas if you were spending $20 a day, because there's more time for the campaign to perform, it could cost you 40 or 50 or 60 bucks, right? So just something to think about when you run your campaign is if you're going to run it, be in it to invest in it. Maybe you're going to have a budget of 500 or 1,000 bucks a day, maybe a lot more, right? We do have clients that have a lot more than that, but if that's your case, then you can run it for those metrics, and then from there you'll get the data to show what's going to work. Now, this is the good part, because now we get to identify our audience, and honestly, this is where a lot of creativity has to come into play for what your product or service is. So in some campaigns that we run, we have found from, let's say, 2020 to now, which we're basically in 2023, that works very well is open audiences versus detailed targeted audiences, which is down here, right? So, and then we have demographics, right, and the location. So right now we're in the States, but if you're a local business, you're going to choose roughly 20 to 25 miles around your local store. If you're very local, for instance, a physical address business where people have to come to you, you may want to go even closer, because if, for instance, if you're 2 or 3 counties over and that's a 30 or 40-minute commute, your ideal customer probably isn't going to make that trip unless it's their day off or it's a weekend. But in the middle of the week, when they have other obligations, it may be tough. And so we want to reduce that as much as we can. So if I do have a physical address where someone is coming, maybe you're a dentist, a physical therapist, chiropractor, therapist, massage therapist, auto dealer. It could vary, but based on your business, you know your clientele better than I would. If people are going to travel to you, you want to try to reduce the commute to anywhere from 20, maybe 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes the max. And again, it doesn't mean that people won't come to your business, but you want to increase as many people if they're coming into your physical store. And then again, if you're a local service provider, unless you're going to have your team that's driving an hour or 2 hours to an address, you want to make sure that the majority of the people that are seeing your ad are people that live in the areas that you service rather than someone that's 2 hours away. And so this is where we can come in here and you can choose the location that you want. All right, so let's just get United States out of there. And what we'll do, let's just say we're in Houston. So we have Houston, Texas, which is a very big city, right? And you can see Facebook defaulted to a 25-mile radius. Now, what does that look like? And if you live in Houston, because we have clients in Houston, odds are if you're in Houston, you probably won't service this entire area. It's a very big area. To get from here to here could take a good amount of time. So this is an example that I was just describing, right? And so now, unless you do service that area, this is what you'll want to do. You'll want to reduce your target area to 10 miles. And here's why. Although it's just 10 miles, odds are people who live, let's say in League City, for instance, still may see your ad, okay? But the difference between someone who lives in League City versus Galveston is major. And so having your ad running to where it is in League City is going to then push you to other areas, you know, even over to here in some instances. When people share your ad and they like your ad, it's going to go much further, right? Especially if you have a really good ad, it can go viral. Okay, next thing you want to do is people living in this location, okay? Because if you use people living in or recently in this location, then of course it's a major city. So you're going to have people that travel there for work or vacation, whatever, family, right? Personal things going on. And that's not what you want. You want people that are actually in this location to see your ad. And what Facebook will do is we'll basically use someone's phone to recognize, are they mainly in this city, okay? That doesn't mean that everyone will not necessarily be someone who's someone that's passing by, but the majority of people that should see your ad should live within this vicinity. Now, another thing to consider is, let's just say that we're not immediately in Houston, but we're like, let's say Cypress, right? Which is another nice area. And then Cypress is very close to Katy. In this example, to get people that are more or less in this vicinity, even though we're doing targeting, as we discussed earlier, we can also set up a custom business page with that name in the business page name, right? So this is the example that we gave earlier, where if we really want to penetrate a specific area, a specific city, we want to do as much as we can to let the people reading our ad know the areas that we service, okay? And I'll show you guys, well, we won't publish the ad, but there's another thing that you can do as well to increase that, okay? Basically in the ad, you can comment in your own ad and then get people to see, okay, these are the cities that you service, which is very, very helpful so that you don't get people who are on the outskirts or areas you don't want to go to and vice versa, they won't come to you. So an example, if we're using Cypress for that, it would be, let's just say we're a dental office, you know, Cypress Dental Services, or Cypress Dentist near me, right? Or whatever it may be, right? If you're a chiropractor, Cypress, Texas Chiropractor, or whatever your office name, you would just figure out a way to make it very similar if it's not already. And it's designed to do this to just increase the local traffic and leads that you want. If you're not a local business, then you can just disregard that, okay? So now that we have this set, we have it set for 10 miles, we can play with this, because as you can see here, our reach, and we're open, we're not even detailed in, our reach is rather small, right? On this side, this is a daily reach, where Facebook is anticipating we'll have about 10 leads a day. And our estimated audience is about 2.9 to 3.4 million people. So this is a very big audience, which is expected because Houston is a very, very big city, right? But if you don't live in a very big city like this, then you might want to go further out. You might want to have that 20-mile radius because you're going to need the people in your vicinity to target. Age. So this is really good. Carve out your ideal customer and based on their age. For most times when we set up campaigns, because we typically go with 25 and up or 30 and up to really hone in on our target audience as much as we can and work with the business that way. Now, we also like to go broad. And as I mentioned before, so let's just say this ad set was going to be my broad ad set. So I would come in here and then make broad, so I know that it's a broad ad set. And then we can also have another ad set where it's broad, but in that demographic, the one thing that we're going to change, see what it is gender. So for instance, we can have an ad set that's only targeting women and then an ad set that's only targeting men. And then of course, our broad ad set is just doing all genders. And so at that point, we're testing which will perform the best. Now, if you have a product or service that is already tailored to a male audience or a female audience, then of course you would want to just use that audience as your main, but I would still test a broad audience just to see if you will get better conversions, okay? Just so you guys know. And then again, you can test different age ranges as well to see what will perform the best for you in addition, because this is how you figure out where you're going to get your best leads, because Facebook's algorithms has gotten really, really, really well and good, where a lot of people are starting to see better conversions, at least our clients are. And in addition to that, we can dial in if we do have a niche that we're targeting or an area where we can choose the detailed. We can then use this as well if we want to test if we'll get a better conversion rate. So then once we have that done, you'll also notice something here. Facebook now anticipates 0 leads. Don't listen to that, okay? The thing that we changed again was the age. So our age went from 18 to 65 to 30 to 65. And again, we're doing that because if, let's say we're targeting homeowners, right? The majority of people 30 and over are going to more likely own a home, and then more likely going to be people that buy our service that just don't inquire. So if that's the case, I may not want to waste or entertain my time with someone that isn't really my ideal customer. It can be different for you. If it is, then you can adjust that. But from most of our data, if we're looking at a home service, we want to focus on people that can not only have an interest in our service, but then also want to make a purchase, make a decision with the service, okay? So now that we have this, the next thing that we're going to have is advanced placements. Now, I would use advanced placements, and then from there, once you have the data to know where you're getting your best conversions from, you can switch to manual placements. We do have some campaigns we use manual placements, and then we have some that we use Advantage, and we'll test based on the data to say, are people converting on the search? Are people converting from the feed? Are people converting from, the native display ads that they're running? Where are people converting from, right? And from there, we want to know. And then once we know, we can optimize our own campaign. So we'll go to next. And now we're going to go from the ad set level to the ad level. All right, guys. So now we're at the ad level. So now at the ad level, this is basically where we're going to make our ad. Okay. Now let me just give you guys a briefing on creating an ad and finding an ad that's going to be a home run ad. Number one, when making an ad, you don't want to focus on information. Okay. You want to focus on what we call writing compelling and creative copywriting. Okay. And basically that means that we're taking the what you do or the how you do it, and we're making it to appeal to our target audience in such a way that makes them have an emotional response. And because basically what happens is someone is on their phone, mainly their phone. They're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, and then all of a sudden they come across your ad, okay? And we want this ad to resonate with them so well that it makes them want to submit their information to you, okay? So now this can be done a few ways. Number one, if you have a business that has a very, very good local presence, you're very well known in your community, and you have a lot of great reviews online, Google, Facebook, things like that, then your certain ads may work better for you than a business that doesn't have that. This is something that, again, is honestly very, very helpful information. So for instance, if I have a business that's, 500-600 reviews on Google, right? Very well known. We're almost everywhere. If they have a meeting downtown or like a little community event, whatever it may be, we're there. We're always out in the community. People know us, right? We have our uniforms, all of our people know our company basically. If that's the case, then when you run an ad, the likelihood that people know your business is very, very promising. Now, for your business, it may not take the same effort that it may take another business who doesn't have that type of market share to get results. And so it's something really important to know and think about when you're creating ads, because you can create an ad with that type of market share. And because people know your business, they're familiar with you, the trust factor is already there. With a business that doesn't have that, that's why we mentioned before, creating a business page. If you don't have one, or you have one that you haven't used in a long time, creating a new one, because you need to build up that trust. And if you weren't active for the last year or 2 years or 3 years, people may get a little leery about reaching out to your business because it shows that you're not active. Now they may go to Google and look up your business, right? But you want to show that you are active, that you are present, right? That way they feel comfortable reaching out to your business. Now with writing ads, writing an ad is not something that, if you're not familiar with how to write ads, I would try to find someone that can write them that is a copywriter. You can find copywriters on Fiverr or on Upwork, right? And there's other ways to find them. You can even find them on Facebook. The reason you want to find a copywriter is because they're going to take what it is you do and write it in such a way that gets someone to emotionally respond and say, wow, okay, I can see why I need this. Okay. Finding a very good ad is not easy. This is something that's very important, because we often hear from businesses that, hey, I made an ad, I put it up on Facebook and I'm not getting results. The lead costs are too high, and a number of other reasons, right? But basically, you have to understand that just because you wrote an ad and it's out there, it doesn't mean anybody needs to or should convert, right? That's not the purpose of the ad. The purpose of the ad, I'm sorry, that's not what the ad is designed to do. Meaning that if the ad is not set up the right way, it's simply information. Does this make sense to you guys? So in other words, you see ads all day, every day, like everybody else. We're all bombarded with ads, and we don't convert on every single ad we see, right? It could even be an ad that is something that is targeted to you, meaning that this is something that I can see why I'm seeing this ad on Facebook, because I was just on ABC website, or I have an interest in this product or service, or this product or service can benefit me, but you don't convert on it, right? The next time you see an ad, ask yourself, why didn't you convert? And if you did convert, what would you have wanted to see to convert, right? And so this is the point where you have your ad text and you want to create language that really appeals to your audience. Like we just discussed earlier, location. If you're a location-based business and people have to physically come to you or you physically go to them, location is something that you really want to put in the ad somewhere, because now we're really honing in on our audience, and we're telling Facebook that this is the area, right? The city names and the state names that we're in that we want to focus on, and that helps out the algorithm. The next thing is we need to use certain keywords, and they're very helpful in our ads, so that Facebook's algorithm, especially if we're broad and open, is that Facebook's algorithm can help find our audience. And that's going to be through the keywords that they use on the internet, and even sometimes what they're saying, right? That's a real thing. What they're saying when they're around their friends and family members, when their phone is around them, right? And what they're searching for on the internet. And by honing in our ad copy to these factors with the right offer, with the right tonality and the way it's said, this will help us get leads at a very affordable rate, and it help us get Facebook algorithm going and get the co-campaign going up. So I don't want to beat a dead horse with that, but I do want to give you guys some background, because sometimes when I see information about how to create ads versus what I know about ads, it really hurts me, because if you really don't understand the back end, you can burn a lot of money running Facebook ad, and you may not know why your ads are not working. And so you think that it doesn't work, but it does work. You just have to understand what you're doing. And once you understand it, you'll see how you can get results relatively easily. So now that we have that set up, let's just say we're going to go ahead and make an ad for a, let's see, what business would be a really good business to make an ad for? Let's say we're going to make an ad for a local service business. Let's say it's carpet cleaning. So carpet cleaning is an interesting niche, because although it may not apply to your exact business, lots of people have carpet, right? And they have pets often, and they have kids. So they have a perfect mixture for mess and for the carpet to get dirty with, kids throwing things, spills, the pets coming in and outside, what have you. Maybe they pee on the carpet, or they, accidentally poop on the carpet, whatever. It's a very good mixture for an audience, because eventually they're going to need their carpets clean. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't regularly get their carpets clean. And because of that, when they see something online about getting their carpets clean, they say, hey, I'm going to give you a call, right? Or I'm going to reach out to you. I'm interested in having my carpets cleaned. So let's go through this and just create a basic ad, and let's make something up. So for instance, let's say we're in Houston, or we could say if someone is a homeowner. So this is something also, if your business, like if you're a local service business that like carpet cleaners, sometimes they have these equipments and these truck mounts where they can't go into certain buildings if it's a high rise, because they don't have a portable. They just have the truck down. The hose is only so long. This isn't everyone, but some of them have this issue, and they can't service. Like one of my clients, he can't service 3 floors or higher. He can only do up to 2 floors, and depending on the structure of the building. So it's a little dynamic. So to avoid that, we'll probably say something like this. We could just say, hey, Houston, home intake. All right, there it is. Hey, Houston homeowners, right? So we have our city, and then we have homeowners. Now, let's say we weren't in Houston exactly. We were more or less in Cypress, which, as you guys saw on that map, it's roughly about a 20-25 commute from the city of Houston. But hey, Cypress homeowners, right? So if I'm in Cypress, if I'm in Katy, if I'm in Spring, Tumble, the Woodlands, that's going to be my vicinity of clientele, because that's basically where I'm based out of, and it's all roughly within a 10 to 15 minute commute. From there, not a lot of traffic, right? So if I have one appointment here, I can easily get to the next and so forth. But basically, I'm calling out this area. Now, Cypress is one city in which would be a fairly big area. There are different dynamics. So sometimes in this case, if I can, I may try to call out the county. But I'm going to right now just say, hey, Cypress. And then in some cases, I may try to go for the big city. I'll say, hey, Houston. This is because even if I position my ad in Cypress, I may not want someone who's in Katy to say, well, I'm not in Cypress, or someone who's in Tumblr, I'm not in, but they all know they're in Houston, right? So you have to know your city. If in your city, it's okay for people to say, well, the Cypress is there, but Katy, if people talk like that, they operate that, then it's fine. But if they don't, and like, well, that's a ways over there, then you may not want to say it because you might not get more leads. Just as something to consider, okay? And again, you can test it and then again, go back and forth with different cities and such to get more leads for your business. So we have, hey, Cypress, right? Say Cypress homeowners, right? We are a licensed and insured carpet cleaning company. I wouldn't use carpet cleaning company. I would probably put my company name in there. For instance, I'd write it like this, but this is just an information like how I'm showing you. I would do it. For instance, at Bob's Carpet Cleaning, right? We offer, and then at this point, I would write what we offer. We offer same day, next day, professional carpet cleaning. So if you notice what I'm doing is, and this is not exactly what I would write, but I'm just giving you an example. Number one, keywords. Number two, we have our location proximity. Number three, homeowners, our target audience. Number four, we have the company's name, right? And then number five, we're even trying to drive home the fact that we want people who are looking for same day, next day. So again, this is going to take out the aspect of someone that is basically looking for whenever, right? So someone reaches out to you, well, let me mull it over and think. We're looking for same day, next day. Now, that doesn't mean everybody will fit that criteria, but again, we can target and pivot our ad like this. Now, again, same day, next day can sometimes people who work and they're not able to be home that day can or may not want to reach out to your ad. So it's something that you want to test, and you can use other language like same day, next day. Or another one is at Bob's Carpet Cleaning, we offer professional carpet cleaning. This week, right, we're going to be doing jobs in, and here we go with our city locations, Cypress, Katy, the Woodlands, Tumble, Spring. And these are just a few I know off the top of my head because I have clients in these areas. But so you see what we're doing with our language. We're taking in the aspect of this week or these next 2 weeks or this week, we're going to be doing a few jobs in these areas. If, right? So now this is the if you're interested in having us come by or stop by to see for carpet cleaning, click learn more below, and we'll reach out to you to set up a time to stop by, an appointment, right? So, and let me just write it so you guys can see it on the screen. At Bob's Carpet Cleaning, we offer, we took out same day, next day, just so you guys know. Only reason we took it out again, just to reiterate, is because we don't want people who say, well, I'm working, I can't commit to that right now. We want to focus on a different dynamic. It's the same thing, it's just how we're wording it. So that's important, right? At Bob's Carpet Cleaning, we offer professional carpet cleaning. This week, we are going to be doing, here we go. So we're going to be doing several jobs in, where we have Cypress, Katy, Woodlands, Tumble, and Spring, right? I said Tumble wrong. Maybe it's just 1L. Right? I could be wrong with this too. Hang on. Let's see what they give me. It's probably wrong, but I'm just going off the top of my head. I think that's 2L's in there. But and tumble. If, so we have our if now. If you're needing, well, not needing, but if you're interested in having your carpets deep clean, here's what we are offering you. So what we're going to do at this part of the ad is number one, we're going to be changing our tone a little bit. So basically, so we're going with an if, so it's almost like sales, but if you're interested in having your carpets deep cleaned, here's what we are offering you. And now, if you're a carpet cleaner, you can basically go in and explain the process. For instance, hot water extractions, stain removal, deodorant. I mean, you guys know it better than I did, but you will go layer by layer by layer. And again, we're using language to appeal to the person so that they feel that they're getting something of value, right? So it's more than just saying, hey, we do carpet cleaning. Again, we're using language to appeal. And again, I wouldn't make the ad exactly how you're reading it, but you can test it. You know, you can test this. Our ads are going to read different than this, but you can test this because I'm making this off the fly. Normally, we'll sit down at our think room and we'll come up with a bunch of ideas, and every week we'll test new ideas because we never know if we can outperform what we're doing. We're always trying to outperform it. Okay, so you can test this mock-up. And then we'll have an offer. Okay, so whether it's going to be, in this case, since we're doing, we'll have an offer, whether it's going to be 3 rooms, 2 rooms, 4 rooms, 5 rooms, whatever. You want to have your offer, you want to give someone a promotional pricing, and then from there, you would make, like a headline, right? You'll make your headline, get this offer today, right? Get this offer today. Or today is kind of vague, now, and then we'll have our learn more button. So the ad is not complete, just so you guys know, because again, this is not a full course on how to make ads. I can easily mock that ad up and just go to town on it, but the ad is basically will be shown there. Now, one thing that we missed, because we're going to have our learn more button, but one thing that we did miss is our creative. Okay, so I'm not going to put a creative in there because I have to make one, but this is where, like we spoke about before, this is where you really have to focus on an attention-grabbing ad, okay? Attention-grabbing. This can be video if the video is very good. If the video is very good, or if you have someone that can edit the video and really make the video pop, knowing 2 things. People have roughly an 8-second attention span. Okay, so you don't want to add, if you're going to do image that has a lot of words on it, you don't want that because nobody's going to read all that. You want something that just pops right in their face. Nice, bright colors. If it's video, you can add some music to it. If you guys are noticing how video has basically transformed in the last 12 to 14 months, very powerful. Video is very, very big. And by having a very good video, you can really appeal to your audience, and you can get a lot of people interested in your product or service, okay? So we have that there. And then basically now we're going to come down to, and this is the part, so we have that there. So now we're going to come to the part where we're going to create our lead form, okay? Now remember earlier where I said that when creating a lead form, it's very, very important that you have an idea of the things you might want from the individual, okay? Like in terms of the details you want them to submit to you, right? So as we know, we're doing this ad. It could say, get this offer now. And the offer again would be what your offer is, but get this offer now. And then we'll have our paragraph, because you have to include a description. And this is going to be, for instance, this is an offer for professional carpet cleaning with Bob's Carpet Cleaning. So reason you want to include this is sometimes people forget they submit stuff. And if you're running an ad 24/7, then if they do this at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, of course, you're not calling them. But then you wake up in the morning and you call them and they're like, who? I didn't remember this. This will help you increase the people that remember they're seeing your ad. Questions. Now, questions can be very, very good if you know what to ask and if you know how to ask them. So, for example, what Facebook allows you to do now is they allow you to reject leads right on Facebook. So basically, the reason I chuckle is because that's very, very helpful. Here's basically what I'm describing. Look at this. Are you interested in having your, well, let me back up. Having your, I'll do it this way, having your carpets cleaned. And then you can put the obvious, yes, and then the opposite is no. So if someone says yes, they're a lead. If someone says no, they're not a lead. And what Facebook is going to do at the end, it's going to send them to message for non-leads. So if they select no, you will never get their contact information. And this is spelled wrong. Carpets cleaned. Are you interested in having your carpet cleaned? Okay. So another question that you may want to ask, it's not needed, but you can ask them how many rooms they have. And you could start with 1, 2, 3, or more than 4, of course. But it's not needed because it really isn't going to change anything. So this is something that's really important. You don't want to ask too many questions. Again, people don't know you yet, and they don't feel comfortable giving up so much information and being so specific when they're still in that days. Oh, I'm doing this product or service. Now you can, but what it's going to do is it's going to drastically increase your lead costs. And it doesn't necessarily mean that even if you get this lead at, let's say, $20 or $30 or $40, that they're even going to actually make a purchase with you. So you want to minimize that by being able to get leads at a very, very affordable rate. Okay. So then we'll come into our description. Now, description is needed. Okay. This information, you just tell people how you're going to use the information. Very basic, but this information will be used to contact you for carpet cleaning. And then we want to go in here and we want to get the user's information. Now we have the user's first name, last name, email, phone number, and you can do city. Now I have tested address, but again, even if you want to test address, is up to you. Some people may not convert on it as well as not having the address because they may notice it and they're like, I don't want to give you my address just yet. It's a little invasive, but city is fine. And then from there, you have an idea of where they're living, where they're located, so you know if you service the area or not. Privacy policy, you need to create a privacy policy link. And if you don't have one, you can go to privacypolicygenerator.com and just make one, but you want to put one in. And for the purpose of this, we'll just make one that's very generic. Just put privacy.com because we're not going to run this. And then we just have to put the text in, so privacy. So message for leads. So this is really important. Now at this point, the person that has submitted the application is basically all set. And you can go here and give them an option. Now they can go visit your website. If you're going to send them to your website, I would send them to your contact page, because if you send them to your home page, there really isn't a way for them to say, okay, if for whatever reason I don't hear from you, I'll call you. Or you can make a call button. Okay, a call button works, but depending on your business, it may not work that well. So I would recommend sending them to your website. That way you have a way to grab more details from them if needed. And then this is what people who don't qualify are going to see. They're going to see this information. Okay, so we're going to go and hit save. Not going to publish it because I'm not going to be filling out the rest of the details. And what I wanted to give you guys as we close this training today is, now that you guys have a way to know to generate leads, this can be very powerful for your business. And if you're a business owner and you want to know how our agency can help you, then basically you can fill out, there'll be a link below this video. You can fill out a contact us page on our page, and then basically you can book a time to speak with us. And then from there, if it's a good fit, we can give you some ideas, some tips, what we can do to help you get more results. But we're very good at getting leads, and we're very versed in many different verticals. And then from there, if everything makes sense, we can go ahead and start working with your business. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys, and bye for now.